Welcome back, guys. Today diving into another form audit video. If you like these, do me a huge solid, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, if you'd like for me to do a form review of one of your videos, my email is down below. Send me your videos. I will probably feature them in a video here soon. Without further ado, we'll dive into really a case study of my client, Natalie. I love to use her because she is super jacked. She was already kind of jacked, but now she's super jacked, and her lat training was not very good. When we started, she was dealing with some mechanic issues, elbow pain, shoulder pain. So I think some of the same principles here we go through, and we're talking about just like hypertrophy stuff, is also going to be overlaid with general, shoulder, elbow, crankiness, but improving function or movement around joints. And the principles that we're going to go through here are the same things I would do for somebody regardless if their goal was to get jacked or if their goal was to clear up some of these issues. So we'll see the overlap here. I'll play a few clips of this. We'll see a couple of things, talk about lats in general. What do we need? Well, we need lats really to extend the shoulder. That's going to be the dominant or the primary thing we're looking for is going to be lat shoulder extension. We'll also look at doing shoulder adduction or bringing the shoulder closer to the body in the frontal plane. But predominantly here for this video, we're looking at more sagittal plane based shoulder extension. And some of you guys will see the glaringly obvious right there right away. I'll play another video first too, though, something that's a bit more overhead so we can get a couple of angles on this. But the first thing we're going to look at with lat training, at least in my opinion, where I always start, is going to be looking at the rib cage. What's the rib cage doing? This can kind of be like a few layers deeper than most people's knowledge tends to be. Like, we're pretty good at, okay, like, arm path this, arm path that, finding exercises that are pretty good for lats, But in terms of setting it up and executing, one of the biggest places people go wrong is simply getting the rib cage into a good place. So right here, we're getting excessive flare. If we go back to the first video, you'll see the same thing here, which is we're getting excessive flare and even a little bit of rotation of the rib cage away from the working arm, or towards working on this. What do we want to do here is we want to get the rib cage into a better position. What is better? Typically, we're going to be looking to get into a stacked position. If we get the rib cage pushed back in space, nice and stacked over the pelvis, we're going to be giving the lat a better fulcrum for it to move around as we go overhead. So we're going to get better tension through the lats. We can also look at it as, okay, I'm trying to get overhead. You can see how sticky she is getting overhead. Why does this look so funny? Well, the rib cage is flaring. So instead of us getting shoulder flexion and getting upward rotation of the scapula, we're getting rib cage flare. Well, that scap needs to move around the rib cage. If the rib cage is actively flaring as we go overhead, what's going to happen? It's not going to have nice continuity to get overhead. So we're going to have a lot of issues typically, not only with, shoulder issues, maybe downstream elbow issues, but just like feeling our lats and connecting to our lats and simulating our lats for hypertrophy reasons. So one of the first things that we worked on was exactly that, which is stacking the rib cage. Here's a video from not too long ago. We could pick apart a couple things here, like the head wants to move around a lot. Not a huge deal. Tempo is a little bit fast. A couple of things I would want to do for most people: get the head into a still position, get the rib cage stacked, and slow down. We want to try to eliminate excess movement as much as possible. Typically, if I'm moving my head around, moving the rib cage around, I'm trying to get relative movement somewhere that's not at the joints I'm actually trying to work, which would be here, shoulder flexion overhead, shoulder extension to actually shorten the lat. Kind of like one of the more recent ones. Look at this nice stacked rib cage, right? She has probably 10 plus more pounds of muscle on her now at this point. It's a couple of years later, or a year and a half at least. I have to ask Natalie how long it's been. Shit. We're getting a lot of what we weren't having before, right? Rib cage, nice and stacked. Head, nice and still. We're getting overhead really well. You can see how much better this scapula is moving across this rib cage. She's not getting shruggy at all. This is a pretty beautiful lat exercise. We can talk about tempo, right? Cleaning a couple things up here, which we have, but the difference between these two is night and day. Look, so much rib cage flare, even though arm path is pretty good, right? Arm path is good. We want shoulder flexion. We want external rotation or more of that neutral grip to get overhead and stimulate our lats, or really lengthen our lats, right? Just so much flare going on here. And if I go forward a few seconds, we'll see the same thing. Almost gets worse and worse as we go. The rib cage stuff can be a bit easy for us to, over fixate on or hyper analyze, but it really is just as simple as, hey, rib cage is pushed forward in space. Let's get it pushed back in space, get it nice and stacked. We're going to have better leverages for muscles that we're trying to train. Simple as that. It's all we need to be able to see here. Now, I wanted to add in this one last little layer to close out the video. It's like if you watch somebody from behind, what you'll see is some people will try to lean away from the working side. So we have this for reference, and we're going to have this left side here for reference. So what we're going to see here, if we almost watch her bra strap right here, nice and straight, up and down, right? Nice and straight up and down. This is nice in line with our shoulder width, which is really good for what we're trying to get out of lats. And what we're going to see in the other video is we're going to see someone start to lean, right? Now, if we let it go for a few reps and I were to pause right here, you can almost see, if you follow her spine and you follow her shirt right here, she's leaning to the left. Like, what are we trying to do? Well, probably instead of getting overhead and getting that length through our lats as we go into shoulder flexion, we're trying to almost laterally flex out of the way. You'll see interesting stuff with the pelvis when we're going through more unilateral motions, like going into lateral flexion instead of us actually getting into the frontal plane at the pelvis. Generally speaking, we're trying to lean away from this lat. Why are we trying to do that, right? And also, does that coincide with a side that is less developed or a shoulder issue we're having on one side? So just another little nugget there. Look from the back view as well and make sure that we're not missing anything in that regard. That's going to be kind of like lats 101 in my opinion here. One of the first exercises I start people with is going to be a single arm overhead pull down. Scale to a level of shoulder flexion, we can actually get to a stacked rib cage and control that range. Fully overhead is not no lats. You hear that narrative sometimes for some reason, but I think it's much harder for us to check those boxes of stacking the rib cage and maintaining relative shoulder mechanics that we want to train our lats fully overhead. So I'd start somebody graded down slightly. That Nautilus Explode pull down is sick. That Prime pull down sick. I know most people don't have those pieces. You can do a single arm cable pull down, no problem, but focus on rib cage mechanics, really just positioning, and then again, neutral grip, getting overhead, getting things moving well at the scap, at the humerus. That's really going to be foundational lat training in my opinion. If you can do that there, you can do that horizontally, you're going to have a lot of really good options for lat training. So let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know what you guys want to see next. If you like the video, again, please like, please subscribe. If you'd like help with your own training, link down below for online coaching. And if you are a coach who is interested in advisory services, getting more help with your clients and facilitating your business, there's a link down there below as well. See you guys soon.